Corissia.
And I'm Whitney.
And we are the moms on your feed. So today we are going to catch up on a show that Whitney and I have been watching. I think we have a lot to discuss. And that show is Married at First Sight. I think this is season 9. Or is it 15?
Yeah, I'm about to say it's definitely more than 9. We've literally been watching Married at First Sight for like all the seasons. I feel like every season we're like, oh my god,
right. Married at First Sight is always on my things to watch, shows to watch, and I can't wait till they come back. You know, a lot of people say it's dragging along, it's dragging. I wish it would. I don't want it to end. Even the boring episodes, I'm still, I guess I'm invested with the couples.
Yeah.
So I don't know all of their names, but do you want to start with, I think the two couples that I really want to talk about is Thomas and Camille. I want to talk about them. More so Camille. And then I also want to talk about IK, or is it Ikechi, and MM.
Okay. But you know the blonde with the like muscle husband?
With Alan, her and Alan.
Yeah.
What is her name?
Is
Melanie?
it Alan? I don't think his name is Alan.
You said, muscle. Oh no, Alan is not the muscle guy.
Isn't it David?
David, yeah. We can talk about them too. We might as well talk about all of them because that's who it is. So who you want?
So I would say, so I guess we can start a little bit from the beginning because it's in so many episodes. So when I first just saw the initial episode, I actually thought they were gonna like each other the most.
I catch
and David.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought they were gonna like each other the most. Just from not seeing like nothing but physical, I thought they would be attracted to each other because like he did kind of like say her to a T, and he's not a bad looking guy. So I just thought, that she would kind of like him a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was kind of surprised that it is ending the way that it is.
I'm surprised too. However, I am I hesitate to say this. At first I was like, well, what is it about him that she doesn't really like? And she said that she didn't like that he still lived at home with his parents. He didn't help himself out by showing her his place. I know they had to show each other, but he didn't help himself out there because his place did look like just a regular old basement that somebody is like she said, a dorm boy.
Yeah, he said like the apartment thing. Like I was kind of, cause the one that lived with his mom a couple seasons ago, I thought he lived in a friend's basement. It wasn't his parents, but it was a friend's basement. I didn't think his setup was bad. Like it was a small room, but it was like you could tell he was neat and it was organized and like he had himself halfway put together. But he is a like straight up, I live in my parents' basement. I've been living in my parents' basement. It does not look like he ever lived outside of that basement. You have to go back because we all sometimes got to go back.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it does not look like he went back. It looked like he never left.
Been there. Yeah, he been there since a teenager, and and so he got his kegerator down there that don't have a keg in it. It is giving real. I'm still trying to. Yeah,
but he seems outside of what we saw. And then and I hate to be the one that does it, but like I question his genuineness because of the way he lived does not match with like what he's presenting, because he's presenting a great guy, like a great guy. I feel like if she did have concerns at this point, her guard should be let down a little bit. Like, okay, he is just constantly showing up, constantly like reassuring me that he's in this, constantly doing the right things. Let me, give him a little bit more leeway. But she just seemed, I think she's like disgusted. Like when she comes, they're around each other, she seems so put off.
Yeah. Well, I think a part of that, and I don't know her from a hole in the wall, and she has not said, but I took a close look at him. And I am a teeth person, and teeth can be fixed, but something is going on with his teeth. And
I didn't notice that. I know you mentioned it. Like, is it one tooth that's like a different color?
I think it's kind of like jagged.
I didn't is that?
It's
Okay.
not major, but I
Okay.
noticed it was either on the top or it might have been on the bottom. But I was
Okay.
just like, let me look and see. And then he's also not helping himself with his hair up. To me,
Yeah. That's like a
that's what I
ponytail.
do with
Yeah.
my hair when I go to bed, you know.
Yeah.
And he, I know he thinks he looks cool. His curls are popping, you know.
Beautiful.
He
Beautiful
can
head of hair.
he can rep somebody's brand, for natural curly hair. However, when you see a man, you do want him to look a little bit different sometimes. And her seeing how she has already expressed that she has came from I guess humble means and she's looking for a come up, then I do think he needs to put a little more effort
His
into
appearance.
himself.
Yeah.
Slick it back maybe and do a low bun. I
Yeah.
think
I
that
mean,
would help
even if
him
you're
out.
gonna do a bun, do a bun. Like
Yeah,
how he
do a
had it at
bun.
the wedding. Don't like have it just like going crazy. Or
Exactly.
even if or have it crazy, like my hair. Like some guys wear their hair down and curly, but you can tell it's like, you know,
Styled.
yeah, it ain't just
Yeah,
like, flapped up. Yeah,
it's
I
up
agree.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. Do you watch the after hours part?
I've seen them.
Has he been on it?
Yes.
His hair is the same? Cause
Yeah.
something. Okay, because a
Yep.
lot of times you can see like the different things and how they progress,
Yeah.
um, in the
His
after
hair is the
hours.
same.
Because okay, so he don't fix it.
I feel like he's being such a nice guy overall. He's really holding his composure. He's being really gentlemanly, and that does lean in his favor. That other women are finding that attractiveness because of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like we all should look for his personality and everything is cool. He just needs a little touch ups here and
But
there.
that's the thing. He said he was willing, and just like how I forgot her name, the one that likes to work out, and you can tell she's
Yeah.
not really super attracted to her husband.
Yeah.
But no, no, not them. Did she buy him a shirt? Maybe but like you can buy clothes. Like if
Yeah.
most women who are married
They
buy
do.
their husbands clothes and
Yeah.
they eventually kind of compliment them and say, hey, like kind of bring the best out of them. And you can
Yeah.
see the videos where they say before my wife and after my wife how the look has changed. So,
Yeah.
that's I would rather have a personality and a good like he's composed and he know how to speak to
Yeah.
me and he adores me as he seemed like he adores her
Hmm.
and nothing physically be together and that could be worked on versus the opposite.
Yeah. I can agree with that too. As long as he's willing to make those changes. So his name, he is with David is with Michelle. That's who he's with. I had to look
Mm-hmm.
them up, so I put them on my phone next to me. And then it's Madison and Allen. So
Yeah,
when
Madison Allen. I
when
like them. I kind of
David
like them. I feel like if she, I don't think she's gonna get past his looks. But if she could have, they could have been really cute together.
Allen and Madison, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, absolutely. I don't think Allen looks bad. I think that
Mm-hmm.
I think that she is allowing what she wants body type wise is the physical. I think that's what's doing it for her.
Yeah.
And that can change. I mean, he already started going to the gym.
He did, and he's like, and that's the thing and that's like I would say to the women out there, the moms on the feed, the single mamas, if you can get a man to adore you, like
Mhm.
that is it. Because
Mhm.
if he adores you, he's gonna work on everything. He's gonna whatever. Like if you work out, guess what? That man is gonna be working out. If you eat
Yeah.
well, he's gonna eat well. But the when you have a guy who loves you, he can love you, he can like you a lot. But if
Mhm.
he knows he's the prize, like he knows he got it together, and you think he is all that in the bag of chips, he ain't gonna work as hard. He's like, I ain't going to the gym. Like that's your thing. Like that's
Exactly.
not my thing.
Right.
So I think that she's kind of missing out on that. Like you have a guy who adores you, who's gonna probably go above and beyond in ways that a guy that looks the way you want to never will.
Mhm. Yeah. I think some of the way that Madison is treating Alan too, like in the latest episode where he said, if I win, I get a kiss. Now, the previous episode, she said, well, you didn't play your cards right because they were playing that Twister game. And she said, you didn't ask or you didn't initiate. So this is his opportunity. He's showing that he wants to initiate and maybe get a shot. So he asked for a kiss and then she played him to the left and said, well, you didn't say where. It's like, come on, girl. So I
But
do
even then, I hate when men like that was his opportunity to be like, no, give me like I
a
want a
kiss on
real
the
kiss.
lips. Yeah.
Yeah, like that could have been his moment to like show. But I think we don't give men the men are vulnerable and they unfortunately they don't want to be rejected like as much as we don't want to be rejected. So we do have to kind of as much as we want the guy to grab us by our arm and
Right.
say, get in here,
Right.
that comes with the opportunity of having rejection.
Yeah.
So, because I felt like he could have been like, no, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
And I think she
Or
would have,
when she came to kiss him on his cheek, he could have turned his head and got her lips.
yeah, or grabbed
But
her face, like get over here and
right.
like laughed it off, whatever. I
Right.
think she would have enjoyed. I think that would have been a turn on for her
I
for
think it
sure.
would have as well, because at this point, I do think that she is
Comfortable
exerting more of
enough.
her. Yeah, she's
Hmm.
taking the lead and exerting more of that, and is making him kind of step back and not be so assertive. And he's kind of just going with that flow when he could take more of the direction and steer, things and how he wants them to go a little bit more.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
when I saw Madison go to the gym with David, I was like, oh no, that would to me, I mean, they are very new, but to me, I would have been like, oh, they probably gonna end up hooking up together. And that's just, I think they edited the show like that a little bit in the like the commercials. So we'll see if they actually do end up together. But I was
I
like,
I don't see. That's the thing. I don't. Maybe I don't feel like that they would be each other's like. I feel like that would be all they have in common.
is the
Like,
gym?
yeah, like I don't see that.
Hmm.
Like I feel like Alan is a part of her that she has missing. And I
Hmm.
feel like the same with Michelle for him, even or someone, even if it's not Michelle, because at this point, like you can do better. Um, but I think he needs someone like I don't like. It's cool when you both have those same hobbies and interests,
Hmm.
but that's not going to sustain a relationship.
It might not, but
It's
she want a
not.
man with muscles, and David have them.
I mean,
And the
we'll
only
see.
thing she don't, and I think she had blonde hair. He wanted somebody with blonde hair.
And blue eyes,
And
yeah.
girl,
Hmm.
David, he tripping.
We wanted all American.
Uh, he gives,
I
yeah, and he does kind of
give,
give off.
and that was some. That was a like I don't know. I guess we all have our preference, but that was a very specific
Yeah,
preference.
yeah,
I wonder, like, with like identity, like, because he's definitely far from blonde hair, blue eyes
yeah,
himself.
yeah,
So I wonder, did that raise an eyebrow with the experts? Is someone even being able to be that bold and say something like that?
hmm,
Like, I wonder if there's some like identity or, maybe he hasn't completely found himself yet. And that's why
hmm.
he's living the way he's living it, even willing to be molded. Because sometimes I'm frustrated that he keeps like saying, "Oh, I'm sorry." That like, no, tell her you are who you are,
Right.
and if she doesn't like it, she's missing out.
Yeah.
But that whole like identity thing, where it's like, I just want to be chosen by. She's the prize, and he want to be chosen by her.
Mm,
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, so we've talked about David and Michelle, Madison and Alan. Juan and Carla, I don't have much to say about Juan and Carla. I don't really,
I was actually they were the one I thought they were gonna like each other a lot.
I did too.
Like, cause they look like siblings. Like they look like they belong together. Like they went to high school together. They look like they would have picked each other. Like she's very good looking. He's very good looking. Like they
Yeah.
seem like they should have like gel together. That is very I'm confused with I was like, I wonder if she said something that really like turned him off or did something or was something that, that she maybe wasn't even aware of that turned him off and he could never turn it back on. But I'm surprised that wasn't like hot and on fire right away.
I think it was trying to be, but I do feel like he is driven by the money and the career things, and she's not. And I think that is what's causing them to um have a rift. Like I don't
Do
think
you
she.
think it's because during his vows, I don't know if you remember someone saying that he believes in multiple streams of income.
Hmm. Well, she
And
has
when
them.
they, huh?
She has them.
No, they said it about him. And
Yeah, but
when
she
they,
has them. Like she's doing.
I know, but when they said it, she was like, okay,
Uh-huh.
like, you can tell that excited, that made her excited.
Yeah.
So I wonder, because I do feel like he's very concerned about being taken advantage of,
Hmm.
if that was like a red flag for him, where he's like, because I feel like he's downplaying his success a lot too. Like, well, we're
Hmm.
not making money yet.
Right. Right.
We're a startup. I
Right.
have to work hard right now. Like, yeah, you're making money. You just don't want her to know you're making money.
Well, yeah, because she doesn't have a place. She said, "Well, my lease is just up," so they went to her storage unit. She done quit the shop. She gonna go to their house, and you both. Well, I don't know if you've been there. I've been there when I'm a traveling hairstylist. She's saying she going to New York now, but there ain't nothing ironed out. It sounds like it's gonna be volunteer.
Even that was crazy. Like, it was at above 1 month anniversary. He was like, "Do you have a date? Do you have a like?"
Mm-mm.
He was. I was like, "Oh, this is so romantic."
He's
No,
like, let's see what money is coming in.
I think he is like afraid of being taken advantage of. But then I think that's always strange to me too, because I feel like a man who has a lot of money, like, they don't care if the woman doesn't have any. Like, long as
Hmm.
you're pretty enough and you
Hmm.
bring to me enough of, like, your value doesn't have to be like money. It could be,
Financial, yeah.
yeah, it could be like our like community, but I guess they haven't built that enough for her to come in the,
Hmm.
in the gate with these concerns. Maybe
Hmm.
that's turning him off. But I don't know. I feel like the experts, where are they?
They don't come in till
Yeah, like, it's
way
just so,
later.
like, I feel like they could have given her Juan and what's the, you said
Carla.
Carla, some more like talking about their heritage, like find a way to get them to come together. And I'm sure they're probably going to do a lot more the second half, like after the
Hmm.
anniversary. But at that point, they kind of gave up a little bit. Like, you guys, I feel like they need to go in with a plan. This should not
Yeah.
just be a natural. They keep saying this is not a natural, a normal
Progression or
situation.
yeah.
This
Yeah,
isn't
dating
normal.
situation.
So why aren't these people going in with some type of plan? Like, okay,
Yeah.
this is what we should be working on. The experts said this. And if they do, they need to talk about it a little bit more, because I don't
Yeah,
see
they
that. All
do.
I see is them doing counseling when they come in, and they just get them like, or they get them activities after they realize there's an issue.
Right.
Like, intimacy is going to be an issue. So have an activity for it. Have an outline for it right away.
Yeah.
Communication could be an issue. Have an active. You talk about the 5 love languages, like, but however
Hmm.
you want to do it, have it at the very beginning. So on their honeymoon, they
They
are working
working on it.
towards building those connections
Yeah,
versus waiting until halfway through. It's like, of course they not, they don't like
exactly.
each other. Yeah, they done. They like, this basically was a first date. I don't like
Exactly. Right. It's a
it.
first
Yeah,
date. And I
I don't
hear
like
you're
them.
right. Especially if the looks ain't hitting right off the bat. Be like, I don't want to see this person anymore. Well, I hope Juan and Carla, I do hope they make it, but I don't think they will. I think Carla's gonna she's just a little too free, and she
Yeah,
about to learn tarot card reading for herself. She all over the place.
yeah. Only one that's probably gonna make it is
Thomas and Camille.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. And but so let's talk about them. I feel like Camille to me kept bringing up she's used to dating. Did she say hood? I don't know if she used the term hood guys.
But that's what I feel like she was implying. Like, more, she's used to guys with more swag and
Swag, that was the word she was
yeah,
using. Girl,
yeah,
sit down. Like what? If you don't leave Thomas alone.
yeah. But I think that's a defense mechanism. Like, I
Maybe
feel
so.
like in awkwardness, because for me, every season when they start saying what they used to, why that should literally be in that they should get a manual. In the
Mm-hmm.
manual, it should say, "Let's not talk about what you're used to."
Mm-hmm.
and that should be mutual. So we're not talking about what we're used to. Because if you what you used to was working,
Yeah, you would have it.
you would not be getting married at first sight.
Exactly.
So
At
let's
first
not talk
sight.
about what you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it was for her, it was just a defense mechanism because I think just like with everyone else, it's like it was probably a lot like different dating him than what she is used to. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like, well, I need to let this out. Like you're not
Mm-hmm.
what I'm used to,
Right.
even the whole like shopping for jewelry, that was like annoying. And he like, and he really likes her. And that's where I go back to mine. I gotta like you because you see he was
Mm-hmm.
rolling with it. But that would have annoyed me. Like, no, like I'm not wearing my hair blonde because you like blondes. Like,
Right.
my hair's so that would have
Exactly.
annoyed me. And even like, I don't know, it's just he likes her a lot. You could tell like
Mm-hmm.
she's the girl he would have saw across the room and would have never walked up to, but really, really wanted to. And
Mm-hmm.
even like his brother, you could tell his brother was like, "You are that girl. Like you are what he's been looking for." So you can tell he really, really likes her. And I feel like she's doing what I would have hoped for Michelle, and even what's the one that's with Alan
Madison.
Madison would have done at this point. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
he's still here. He's a
Mm-hmm.
good guy. What I've been doing hasn't worked. Let me let my guard down and try it out.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Right.
I'll not try it out.
Right. And I do think that she has worked, I think Camille has worked through some of her stuff and gave it a try before being super defensive and negative towards him. Like she hasn't been rude towards him or standoffish, and she has welcomed the intimacy with him as opposed to the other two, Michelle and Madison. They haven't. Michelle can't get past where he lived to let him touch her or to even answer questions. And Madison, she the same way. She's just kind of flinging it like, oh, it's here if you ask. And then he asks, and she playing around with that man.
Mhm.
But I do think Camille is trying, even though she wanted a man with more swag and all this other kind of stuff. I do think that she's trying. Now, who was mentioning? Did she say that she didn't really? Did she mention she didn't date light skinned guys, or was it him
No, he did. I didn't
that
like
he
that.
didn't date? And I was like, oh,
No, he didn't say he didn't date. He just said, I'm surprised that you didn't date light skinned guys. And she said, well,
okay.
why? And he was like, because you're light skinned.
Yeah.
And then like I understand a part of where she was coming from because she even mentioned like it seems like he's definitely more because he's mixed.
Mm-hmm.
He is more connected to his Caucasian side versus the black side.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is, like she said, that he went to a bar that obviously it was some racism things going on at the
Mm-hmm.
bar. And she was, I can't believe you frequent that bar with everything that's been like said about the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where she felt like, maybe it was a
Yeah.
little disconnect culturally. And it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing, just like talking to two men. Like, I think her sister said it so, like,
Eloquently.
yes, she
Mm-hmm.
said it so great. Like, we are all mixed race
Yeah.
individuals
Yeah.
having different experience in a world we navigate through.
Yeah.
And even now, like I know they kind of made it like a woman thing versus a man but thing, but I think it's more just like who you connected with, like the schools you went to and who you grew
Mm-hmm.
up with. Where because you can have a light skinned black man, a light skinned mixed man who's having a total different experience than what he had because of the environment, the schools, the
Yeah.
friends he had. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that I when he did that little light skin thing, I was like, I do feel like that was an opportunity for her to stop him right there though and say, this is the problem. Like what you
Yeah.
just did, like you don't even realize like that wasn't that like that thought pattern that because I'm light
Mm-hmm.
skinned, I should be with a light skinned guy, or the guy,
Mm-hmm.
if I did date a black guy, he was light skinned.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I wonder, they were adopted, right? Him and
The boys were, but they
yeah.
were adopted by a mixed race family.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
But in both their moms are white. So I have noticed, like it's like on TikTok and social media where they talk about mixed race children who have a white mom versus a
Mhm.
black mom. So when you have
Mm,
a black mom, you tend to be more, you're raised in her culture because
yeah,
the mom usually cultivate the child's culture more than the dad. And
absolutely.
when you have a white mom, you are more connected to the Caucasian culture versus a black mom. But
Yeah.
they both have white moms.
Okay. So
So
that,
yeah.
yeah.
So her mom must have did a very good job, or her mom was in Gulf in the African American culture, because you got Caucasian people who grew up in the black neighborhoods,
Yeah.
black schools, so they're just as black as a black person,
Exactly. Exactly.
even though they have different experiences, but they understand the culture, and the words that someone use will irk them just as well as it will irk an African American
Yeah.
person, because they know culture. So I
Right.
think he was engulfed in it more than what he was, even though they both have white moms with black dads.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense then. That makes a lot of sense to me. And he hasn't had these experiences that she has had. I think that she's going to bring a lot of culture to him. I will say though, I'm tired of him pulling his hamstring. I'm like,
But she
what's
needs to
wrong?
stop making him do activities. He's 41 years old. That is an older man. Like leave that. Let him.
Girl, he is
Even
not that old.
I didn't like that gym thing. Like when the way she was
I
acting,
didn't like that
I
either.
thought that was like wait, like you acting like a brat.
Yeah. You're gonna run suicides. I didn't like that either. I was just
Yeah,
like, give it a
yeah,
break. He was
yeah. Like
late. He
grow
said it was,
up.
yeah, he apologized. He said it was for a good
It
reason.
could have been traffic, anything. Like
Yeah.
girl,
And it turns out I think it was traffic, because he was out
yeah,
buying her necklace. She just
mhm,
didn't know at that
yeah.
time. But girl, he did what one or two of them suicide sprints and he like, oh my cab. I was like, go drink some coconut water. You need some hydration or something. Where are the vitamins? He should be taking all of them at this point. I said, my goodness. But I don't know. I think unless things change drastically, I think they'll make it.
I really do.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
they'll
they're
make
gonna
it.
be in it for the long haul. Like they're gonna have babies in the next couple of years for sure.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
so too. Because she's definitely,
They both were ready. They both were ready, like for
yeah,
this. They were ready. Like even with her issues and like his not being down for that. I think they picked someone great for both of them. I think he's really good for her, and he's really good for. I think he's really good for her, and she's really good for him.
yeah.
And I think they both were ready. I don't. Most people who does this show are they're not ready. They're
They
just not.
not. They're not.
And I'm like, why are they picking these people?
Right.
It's really at this point for me. It's not even making great TV because it's kind of frustrating because I want to see more couples succeed.
I do too. I was like, oh, I would like somebody just to really work it out and, not be awkward with each other or just get through that awkward phase. I think Alan was ready. Out of all the couples, I think Alan was ready. Um, David, I think, is ready. Camille and Thomas and MM. I think they're ready. Oh, I totally forgot about Juan and Carla. I don't know if either one of them are ready either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Um, so MM and Ikechi or Ikechi, is that how you pronounce his name? Ikechi, which however you pronounce it. So the fact that he moved, but they said that his boss encouraged him to move to tech, not tech, to move from Texas to Chicago, um, and to get
I
on.
don't think he moved there for the show.
It
Did he?
wasn't for the show, but
Okay.
he definitely did it. I feel like he did move for the show though. I don't know. I'm not gonna give him that bad of motives, but um, I feel bad for her. She was really. Oh, and he's 41,
Yeah,
so
he was older. He's
he,
older.
he old enough to be.
He's just not. He's not emotionally mature. I
He's
don't think he
not.
liked her. I could kind of tell that from the beginning. They did her makeup horribly for that wedding.
I'm looking
Her
at her
makeup
wedding picture now.
wasn't her makeup horrible.
It could have been.
Horrible. Her makeup looks so much better now. Like when she does like for the anniversary
Yeah.
or when she goes to work, that looks so much better than the makeup at the wedding. That was a horrible first impression.
So then we're talking about a makeup artist, I guess, who maybe didn't have experience with
Yes,
her
that
skin tone.
you don't
'Cause
see that gold on the eyeshadow, like white gold, like beige. Like what? I
you
was
can't see
mad when
anything.
she walked down the aisle. Like,
Yeah, I
and then
wouldn't.
he was acting like he was all excited. I'm like, this.
He was, and then that's what kind of threw me because he said, "Oh, God knew what he was doing," and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I don't like that kind of talk anyway. But
Yeah, he did not care for her. Like immediately, I knew he did not care for her,
yeah,
and I definitely think that like the whole income thing. I don't know though. Like I know on like the blogs, everyone is saying it's he's intimidating and stuff, and I wonder though if she was physically his type, would her success bother him as much?
I mean, the physically, like, what else does he want? A different face? She has a nice body. And I'm sorry, the nerve, because his face, I would have been
I,
mad. I would have
I
been
mean,
mad.
nothing's wrong with her face, but if that's
I mean,
like
we don't think nothing wrong with her face, but if he seemed to, he ain't looked in the mirror. I mean, girl, there was a, oh, I wish I could find a
I
picture
feel like
he reminds me of.
when I saw her the first, like when she was in the kitchen with her friends talking, she was giving me like a masculine vibes.
Okay.
Like I was definitely getting, but culturally, I know that could be that could play part. But she was definitely giving me like masculine vibes, her facial like expression and things like that. Um, I don't know. I don't feel like I don't know. It's just so hard because you ask these people their celebrity crush, and then like I could see if his celebrity crush was Kelly Rowland, why they went with her, because dark skin, slim,
Mm-hmm.
like long hair, like I could see it, but she doesn't look like Kelly Rowland. And but
Mm-hmm.
who's gonna find you somebody to look exactly like that's not. But that's
Yeah.
the other thing. Like, don't go on the show if your physical type is that important. Like, this
Yeah.
is not the show to go on. That
Absolutely.
might not happen. So that you are taking a huge risk if you're going on a show and your physical type is like top 10 on
Yeah.
your list because
Yeah.
it might not happen, and vice versa. Like you might not be their physical type. I
Yeah.
think is that, and I think that the whole like insecurity of how much, because he is talking about that a lot. Like, oh, she's looking down on me. I'm like, no, she's not. She has
Nah.
not once made me feel like she was insecure or she had any issues about how much he made.
Mm-mm.
She can take care of herself. She is fine.
Mm-hmm.
She wants companionship. That's
Yeah.
all she wanted you to
That's
for.
that's
And you
all she
could have
wants.
done it if you wanted it, but
Yeah.
but you didn't.
Nope.
That's all she is asking.
Yeah.
So for him to keep bringing that up, I don't know if it's gaslighting, like let me find a flaw to say,
Mm-hmm.
or if he legit have that insecurity that she makes so much more to him. But then I don't know. I haven't been in the situations where I've made so much more than the men I've dated. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that is a real like I know people talk about like men can't handle a woman that make a lot of money, but for it to come out this soon,
Mm-hmm.
I can see long term in marriage or a long term relationship is like, oh, you think you can do it, oh, da da da, like that. But this soon, it seems like it's something else.
I mean, I feel like it is that because again, going back to him being 41 and she's 34. And he probably looks at himself like I'm a college guidance counselor.
Yeah,
I'm a big
half
man
of them.
now. And she is I feel like what's coming off as masculine is her assertiveness and her being vocal about what she wants sexually. Um, I think that's probably coming off masculine, but I also feel like in times when he is I would say rah rah a lot, cussing her out, she don't get up when he
She don't.
you
And
don't
that's I was so happy that she did what she did on that anniversary. Like stand up for yourself. Like she's the other one that I feel like David. Like I feel like that there was some insecure. She has some insecurities going on to be okay with letting this keep happening because I would have walked away. Like there is no way after that incident with the therapist when she said I don't want to sit on the same side as her. Oh, you ain't never got to sit on the same side as me, boo. I got you. Now the whole thing with her friends, I kind of because he was kind of like rubbed the wrong way at the wedding. I like he was out of pocket. Um, I
But he
don't feel
can't
like
that's the thing, he can't answer nobody's questions.
yeah,
Hers.
but I guess because that was the first time I saw it,
Hmm.
I was like, well, he had a bad day. I'm like, dang, he kind of coming off rough a little bit. Um, but even like seeing like a woman, like that whole like, oh, you can't say a black woman is aggressive. Like, why can't he if she feel like that's the adjective. Like,
Yeah.
why can't I say that somebody is aggressive? So
Yeah.
I don't believe that you can't say someone is aggressive or whatever. I didn't like when they kept asking him different questions, like, "Oh, I don't want to answer that." Like, well, you don't have to like me, long as she like me. Like, okay, chill out. Like, who are you,
Exactly.
bro? But that might have not made me leave him. I would have checked him, but I might have not left. But
Hmm.
when he did that thing with the therapist, and he like, she jumping my bones, and I know I'm not.
Oh, excuse
You
me. Oh,
bless
excuse me.
you. You ain't gonna have me out here looking crazy,
That
and
was
I
alarming.
know
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Like you can go on somewhere.
Yeah.
Go manage my practice.
Right. Let me get back to work.
Exactly. Let me buy another. What was he talking about? Karaoke machine.
Yeah. 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 When he said that, like she did he say she touched him inappropriately or and I don't know her. I don't we're strangers. I don't know her like that. And I'm
If
just
he
like
was the type, he would have been all for it, girl. Listen,
ex yes, he would
all
have, but like she said, he took her hand and put it on his junk. So which is it?
because
Now you
he's
uncomfortable?
playing a part. He wants to be the good. He wants to be all of that. Or maybe he thought he could get past it. I don't know why he did it. I really don't. When did she say he did it on the honeymoon or what?
Yeah. Yeah, on the honeymoon.
How he get past it, I don't know. But I felt like if he was like she's a beautiful woman, like he said, like if he believed that,
Hmm.
he wouldn't have like men have
It
one
wouldn't have
night
mattered.
stands. I was like, yes, like come on, you ready?
Right,
You know,
exactly. Yeah.
so I don't think I feel like it was definitely, but for you to use that, like he's using her as an scapegoat. Like
Yeah.
say what you mean. If you don't
Right.
say it, like
Right.
if that is an issue for you, say it. Man
Mhm.
up.
Right. Right. I don't, yeah. Even if he wasn't attracted to her, to just make it seem like she's him is crazy. Or
Girl, I'm
it's
just
hey,
trying to make you
I'm gonna have to
lose
bleep
my
that out.
license because you
Right.
want to say
Because
anything.
you wanna, yeah, you
Yeah,
wanna
you need
act
an
like you
escape. You want to look like you the good guy. Like you're not the good guy. He looks like a clown. And I'm glad you said that. She was like, you're gonna go to the circus. Like, yes,
yeah.
you a clown.
Yep.
A straight up clown.
Yep. And that's how he behaved. His attitude, well, he's displayed that in several different settings. So we can only
Yes.
imagine how he is
That's
different
him. That
outside.
is
That's him.
and
Yeah.
that's yes. And like I feel like he would be abusive.
He might.
I feel like he gives very abusive vibes. He would be abusive.
The sarcasm, that would be enough for me. I can't deal with no man that's just constantly sarcastic, and that's what he is. That's what he has shown. He's done it with Dr. Pia. He's done it with her family and friends. He's done it with her. All of this stuff is in front of the cameras.
He don't care.
So,
And that's
and
the thing. If you don't care, like
yeah,
he don't care. Like this is
yeah,
the stuff people talk about. Like when the camera come on, they do one person. He like, no, I
this,
don't. You know. But
I,
I think in his mind, he feels like it's justified because he say, well, da da da. It's not justified. You look real silly and you look
you do.
mean. He
You
look like
know?
he's mean. That's like
Yes,
you're mean, and you're
mean.
hurting that girl. You're hurting that woman, and that's not okay. Like you're mean. And
Yeah.
I said it last week. I said he's gonna be so disappointed when he watched this video back, and his family's gonna be disappointed. Like
Mhm.
it is not. You do not look good. You look mean.
And the boss who told him he should do it, she gonna be embarrassed.
Well, she won't.
Like,
They
don't
we don't
connect
know
my
who she
name.
is. We don't
Don't
know who
say,
she is.
well, yeah. Don't,
Yeah,
let me
no,
remove
she
my face.
very mean. Very, he's a very mean guy.
Yeah, mean for no reason, just because she asking questions and
Hmm.
you can't answer the question, you know, you'd rather just jump on her and attack her. It's crazy. It's real crazy. So I hope MM. Did you see the preview for next week?
Mm-mm.
Well, I think this might not have been all of just for next week. So it might be somewhere down the line in the show because somebody asked her to marry them. Yeah, and she was smiling. To me, it sounded like it was eye catchy, and I hope it's not. And I hope that smile was, I don't know, embarrassment, and that she's not gonna
Yeah,
say yes.
we can't come back from that.
Not
We
at
can't
all.
because that is his. That's who he is. Like that
Yeah,
is who he. Like
he gonna
that was
come back
not.
and curse you again.
Yes, he gonna put on the front. He gonna put on the fake, and
Yeah,
he gonna like. I hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't. I hope she like know her worth. Like there is a man that will love you and treat you the way you want to be treated, and if not, you got money, travel the world, live your life, and do it well. Like do
yeah.
not settle for that foolery because he is not a good guy.
Mm-mm.
That's
Not at
crazy.
all.
I feel like the experts at some point need to be like, I wouldn't even push her with him. Like rewatching the video, I would be like,
Yeah. The
good.
experts come back too. They do come in somewhere and they met with, I think that's all they met with Juan. Um, they have to meet with them too, but I hope they don't. Well,
Yeah,
look what they did with Chris and Paige. They didn't necessarily, well, Cal
they
did tell
told him.
Paige
I feel like they told her to be done
to,
with him.
yeah,
Yeah, I
and
think
she
they told her to
couldn't.
be.
She didn't.
I feel like he's worse than Chris.
You do?
I
Mm,
feel like that Chris, what he did was dirtier, like with the whole baby thing. But I feel like he's worse than Chris.
mm. In some ways, because Chris didn't, I think Chris was a little more manipulative and scheming than this guy is just straight out with it.
But Chris was. He said he didn't like her. Like he said it was he wasn't attracted to her.
He did.
Like that was up front. So I feel like he's
He
doing
said that
that.
after he slept with her.
That part too. But that's the thing. So let's go back to the what he put. So she's coming on to you, and you still don't do it. Like he did it because he was like, well, maybe after I don't know. A lot of guys turning away.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, I guess he don't. I don't know. He don't like her. He don't like enough about her. There was somebody who mentioned it wasn't was it the It Takes Two? No, it wasn't. It was Eddie and I'm trying to think of their podcast, but they had went to Reddit and this guy's I catch he's one of his ex-girlfriends, apparently. Or what did I say, allegedly
Allegedly.
said that yeah, that's who he is, a mean guy, and that he wants to tell a woman what to do and just be, and he comes off like that to me. He wants to be the important one in the relationship, the smartest one in the relationship, and he wants to come off as philosophical, but he's not. So it surprises me in his bio when it says he's done the work to figure out who he is and what he wants. And though he's had some long-term relationships and dated some amazing women, the connection was never there, quite there. Well, it's not here now either. And he has not done the work, clearly.
And I feel like when you want to be married, I had a man tell me that for men, it's about timing versus the woman.
Hmm.
He was like, I, I had some wonderful women before my wife. I wasn't ready.
Hmm.
My wife came when I was ready. So I think that if you're ready, you're gonna make a man is gonna make the woman he's with it.
Mm,
Like it's just about readiness because I don't know, and I know I'm a like girls. I feel like a woman, if you got a good man, a woman gonna be a good woman. Like I feel
yeah.
like the bad women are a result of bad relationships and bad men. Like
Hmm.
there's more. Now you do have some women that's like trifling and reckless and all that other stuff, but for the most part, if you a good guy, that woman is gonna end up being a wonderful woman for you. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't think I could be with him either. Not after he done did that, because I would
No,
have.
I would be done. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that's why after at the anniversary meeting, the anniversary dinner, why she just kind of blew up because she like, oh, here this clown coming in.
Mhm.
You give me a clown, you gonna get a circus.
Even when she was crying, I don't think she was crying because of him. When she got back to the hotel and she saw his stuff gone, I don't think it was about him. I think she was disappointed that this experience didn't go the way she wanted to. I
Absolutely.
think she is not like I would hope he don't feel like, oh, she wants me. She doesn't want you that much. She just
No.
want a marriage and she wanted this
Right.
to work. So she was willing to be a little bit more aggressive because
Yeah.
you weren't. So out, maybe I do need to let him know I'm down if you down.
Right.
But I think that's why she was so sad was because
Yeah.
she really wanted it to work.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. And it's not. It's not gonna work with him. And she had a sign with her cousin and the tacos. I wouldn't have been okay with that either. How he answered the cousin and him calling her aggressive, and I was just like, ooh, he got a lot of strong words to describe her,
Yeah.
and it don't sound good at all. But I guess he said he was gonna stand up that day and just be rude, and he was, and rude to everybody. It just at the dinner, why come in and she said, "Well, what's good? I'm here for y'all. What's really good, And you don't seem like you wanted to be there. Well, I can go home. I would have been like, then go. You done brought the whole place down.
Yeah, yeah. He
The
came in with
whole.
really bad energy. He has bad energy in general. Like he has bad energy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we'll see what happens this week. I can't wait. I'm glad that there's not going to be any more breaks. I don't know how many more weeks we have of Married at First Sight. I feel like they're probably this is episode 9. I know I think we are on 10. It's last week's. Probably got a couple more weeks. It'll be over by what you think, the end of February? Um,
Yeah, probably so. And then they do the after shows and
yeah.
yeah, because it's only halfway through. When did it start? Because I just caught up on it.
Oh, girl. Let's see. I'm not sure. Oh, yes, I can find out right. October 31st.
October, November, December, January. Oh,
And
we might
October,
have
no,
like
October 15th. That's what it was.
yeah.
That,
Well,
yeah. You make me want to
that
see.
was 3 months. Maybe 3 more months if it's only halfway through.
Yeah. Or maybe it's going to speed up. They might be more than halfway through and we just don't know. Because they
Hmm.
done already had the honeymoon.
Yeah,
They've
but
had
they
their
just did
one
their
month.
anniversary. That's what we just
Oh, they
watched.
did 2 months. That's right. Isn't it 60 days? So they've aired one whole month. So they have another month. That's 4 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see who end up together. Well, thank you everyone for joining the Moms on Your Feet podcast. Leave any questions and your comments about Married at First Sight down below, and we can chat about that. And maybe we'll feature some of your comments next time too when we talk about that next episode.
And this made sense that was an hour though, because we literally just did the whole 3 months because we didn't talk about it. So
Yeah.
it makes sense. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this was Married at First Sight edition.
Right. All right. We'll see you
All right.
next time.